Come on over. You gotta get close to me, even though you don't want to.
What do you mean?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
You're still shedding.
I know. I still twirl my hair because you left me. If you come back, I'll stop twirling my hair.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we are. I wonder who's going to remember it tonight.
Well, 2 people.
Oh, 3 people.
Somebody remembered.
Oh, we're up to 6. They're anxious to see you, Twyla. That's what it is.
Well, look at those circles under my eyes.
Oh, look at my marks over my. I need to apologize. Hi, Nancy. I actually had a customer message me and say that they didn't sleep Friday night at all because the stitches that Jackie drew on my face looked too real, and she had nightmares all night. And she's worried about me all night because she thought I had a big, major surgery. And I apologize if I scared anybody else. It was just a joke, guys. Okay, here we go. We've got a few people.
We do.
I know.
Nice.
Okay. Do we dare even start to say hi? There's so many names coming up.
No, don't say hi because we always forget people.
Yeah, I know. We won't say hi. Okay. So this is going to be our sew along, and it's going to start
next Monday night. I had to stop and
It's a good start. So
next Monday night.
So this Wednesday coming is our final sew along with Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that sew along stops, we are going to roll right into this sew along that Twyla has designed, the layout. And she is using blocks that she found online that are free patterns.
Some are like some are like conglomerations. Like it's just a little bit of everything.
This and that.
Yeah, it's this and that.
So that's what we're going to call this sew along. This and that.
Some are out of my head.
Are you
some
this?
Are my own
Oh, let's call it thing 1 and thing 2.
Oh, well, we could do that. Thing 1 and thing 2.
Who are you, 1 or 2?
2. You're number 1.
No. Thing 1 and thing 2. Okay. So this is our this and that sew along. We're going to do a sew along that we're going to use Lori Holt fabric, but you guys can use any fabric that you want.
Get the part where she says we're going to use.
Yeah.
She's never done anything with Lori Holt fabric and probably never will.
True story.
I'm using Lori Holt fabric.
So you can totally use this from your stash of scraps.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I actually recommend that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I recommend them buying my fabric.
Well, yeah, but they're stashed from your fabric. Like, seriously,
I know,
week
right?
after week, you guys are buying those meter cuts.
Yes.
And, like, to go through and pull from that and use some of it, this is the perfect time for that.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be in the colorway I'm doing. It could be in any colorway
It could be in something much prettier.
I think it would look sharp in batik.
It would look sharp and petite.
I think it would.
But I have to be honest, even though I don't sew with Lori Holt, I really, really love your colors because it's blue and green.
Yeah, I went with her colors this time, which I don't think I've ever made a quilt out of just this combo.
But you're
colors.
happy with it.
I am happy with it. I am, because I do actually like this color combo.
Yes, it's really
But,
nice.
so we're just going to talk a little bit about it tonight. We're going to go over the fabric requirements. I'm going to show you the blocks. We aren't going to show you the layout, so it'll be a surprise how it goes together.
So it's kind of a mystery, but not.
Yeah.
We get some sneak peeks.
Like, we get people who hate mysteries, people who love them, so this is sort of hopefully the best of both worlds for you guys, because we can't make everybody happy. So
we try.
So I know some of you already saw the blocks, or some of them, but I do have all of them done now.
Should I have gotten a design board for you to lay them in?
Oh, maybe.
I'll go
I didn't
grab
think
one.
to bring one this time because I got them all in the basket. So the first thing, I think, well, maybe we won't go into requirements till after we look at the blocks. But I can tell you that you can go anywhere from a throw size with this, and I'm just going to get my notes because my mind isn't good. So if you wanted to just start and do a little throw, you could have a throw that finishes at 48 by 56. And if you wanted to just put a little border on that to make it a hair bigger, you could. But the route that I'm going, it's going to have 3 borders. And there's something in one of the borders. And at the end of it, it will be 84 by 92. That's what my quilt will be, 84 by 92.
And I really, really love the borders that you've designed.
So you can stop at any point. You can do different borders. You can do whatever you want. But I think it's,
These are all just suggestions.
yes, Wendy, there's a treat. There is.
She did get a treat.
It was the first thing that was shown to me when I came.
But it's a secret.
Wally made sure.
Before we go on, I need to Kim Dilney.
You need to Kim.
I need to Kim. I wonder if Kim Dilney's on tonight. Kim, are you on
I
here?
saw her name there or not.
Let's see, Kim Dilney. Kim Dilney, fess up if you're here. Say hi.
I don't know if I saw her.
Your treats, Wendy, were delicious. Very good.
And they're my favorites.
Oh, she's here.
There she is.
Kim Dilney, you are the winner tonight, and you are winning 4 quarter-meter cuts of Lori Holt.
Mhm.
And we will ship that out to you tomorrow, as long as I remember. But remind me, you are getting the 4. I want to tell you, you guys, thank you so much for sharing our post. We wanted to get the word out about this sew-along, and you guys did really good. But I said that I was going to pick our favorite one, and one of the reasons I picked Kim Dilney is because she didn't just comment under my post. When she shared her post, she made the comment on her page so that people that read her page could read that and think, oh, that sounds interesting. Let's go check us out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I meant by sharing and commenting on the post.
So ship. She's coming on Wednesday, right?
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Dilney. Oh, woohoo, good. Okay, so Kim Dilney, this is how she shared it on her page. And I'm going to read it to you for those that didn't see it. She says, do I need any more fabric? ? Do I need any more stuff for quilting ? Of course I do. I'd run and rescue for homeless fabric. I'd run a rescue for homeless fabric. And then she says, check out Deborah Howard Quilts by the Bay for your chance to rescue fabric, patterns, thread, and tune in to see the next sew along with Twyla. But be prepared, as Deborah and her crew may cause overspending, a need to change your underwear, and occasionally a need for a part-time job to keep up with frenzy.
Occasionally.
Keep up with frenzy. That was very creative,
It was
Kim.
very creative.
It was really cute, and we really like that you shared it on your page, not just under our post. And that's what, when I ask you to share something and comment on your post, Kim Dilney and a few others did exactly what I was expecting, and she's winning the fabric because it was so original and so well thought out. So,
It was very
thank
cute.
you, Kim.
Very cute.
Okay.
So we've gone over like the different sizes, so you could stop at a throw or you could do your borders like I'm doing them. You could do your own borders, whatever. But it would fit a queen size bed at 84 by 92, but it wouldn't be a bedspread. It would just be like a queen size quilt or whatever, or it might be a bedspread on a double bed or whatever. This has a little bit of applique if you so choose. If you are not an appliquer and you don't want to attempt it, then any of these blocks could be filled with, there's a lot of different things you could do, and you'll see that as we go. There is one little paper piecing thing to show, but my applique blocks weren't done the last time. I think I only had one the last time,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, I had said in the other video that I tried to do different this time, that they weren't just cutesy blocks or whatever. So they've got a hint of modern.
Yes, a little bit different.
So that's the applique on 3 of them.
Yep.
So they're different,
Pull that down
but
so
they're very, very easy to do.
Yes.
You don't really need anything special. Any of these, I didn't use anything special. Like you could use jar covers, pill bottles for your
So this
size.
is a little out of the comfort zone for a lot of people, because a lot of people are used to traditional pieced blocks, like log cabins and morning
Right.
stars, and
Right.
and this is a little bit different.
It is. But these are also, so this I did the Lori Holt technique, which I will show, but maybe when we get to the applique thing, Deb will show, because I don't do fusible
Raw edge,
applique, raw
applique.
edge, that isn't
So
me.
we'll show a couple, and maybe
So-
you'll be able to use the applique.
Oh, maybe. Yes.
We get some appliques.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll show you the 2 different things. These are a couple more of the applique blocks. So they're a little different.
Yes. And let's
But
see.
you don't have to do applique. That's
So
the good thing.
the
about
thing
this.
is, we
Look,
are
look
going to
at these
give you the
suckers came
size.
down.
I know. We are going to give you the size of each block each week. And if for some reason you see a block that she's doing and you think, ooh, I don't like that one,
Yeah, I hate that one.
right? Which it might happen.
Oh, it does happen.
Well, everybody's got different tastes,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So then you can make and
Why
use.
are you pinning those?
I don't know. Oh yeah, these are design
Oh,
ones.
my word.
You miss me, Twilight?
Oh, yes, I do, actually.
Here,
Although we seem to talk a lot.
I know we do. These are a couple more of her blocks. We're gonna show them.
So there's all different sizes and shapes. They're not traditional. See how some of them fit in long strips? This is not like a square, it's a rectangle. So there's a lot of different sizes and shapes, but just for an example, I'm just gonna show you when I come to it.
You know what I like about this star?
Which star?
This one, I like that you use the different backgrounds.
Yes.
This one.
Yep.
See? I like
So
this.
these, something like this, if you have like an odd size block that I do that you don't like, you can just fill it with like a checkerboard or something if you want to, right?
I actually like this.
Which one?
I like this
Oh, guess
zigzag.
who's here, guys? Guess who's
See,
here?
and I like this that it's on the diagonal,
Yes.
right? And then you've got this. See, there's that, and there's my shithead. Whoops. Goodbye, Wally. And then we have this one. Oh, and look at
I
these.
just brought it for you.
For me? Okay, thank you.
That's my.
So there's, I think, 5 of those,
See how they go?
which aren't sewn together because they don't go in a long straight line.
It's really driving her crazy that she can't sew these together.
It is. It's driving me
Why can't you?
bonkers because I have to have them. the week
I
that we do
like
them.
this.
Oh.
Instead of being a typical pinwheel, it's got this little twist to it. And then we have this one. This one.
And see, this is just a basic string piecing. So any of the weird shaped blocks, if you didn't like a block, you could do something like that, right? To
Right,
fill it
to
in,
fill it
something
in.
easy. Or if you don't want to do an applique block, you could do some of those options, right?
I like this one.
Yeah, I do too. And that's just another filler block, right? That's using up some scraps.
So I really like that a lot. So as you see, there's a lot of basic blocks. I like this. I like that center, the way it goes around. That's a sharp one. That's a sharp one.
So see, this shape is long and narrow.
I like that you snowball those corners, and I like that you've got the center in there like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the center without it would be terrible.
There's a mistake. Oh,
There would be more than one mistake if you looked really close.
no, there's
Look at
not.
that. So she's used all of her scraps
And stash.
and stash.
Like,
That's what I meant.
yeah.
Look at that. Isn't that nice? I like that she put this on the top of it, on the bottom.
Well, to get the size block that I wanted,
You
I had
had
to
to.
do that, right?
Yeah.
So then there's things like this for fillers. So this is the one I showed the last time, but when I got put in my quilt, laid it out, I didn't
neat.
like it. I didn't like that the colors were so similar. So I replaced it with that's got some more
contrast.
contrast in it.
But I mean, you might like the top too, right? So whatever you want to do, right?
So that one is paper piecing that we're going to show you how to draw the thing to do
You're going
it.
to teach them how to make their own paper piecing blocks, like for other projects too. Like if they.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
She's going to show you.
So
the
now,
technique.
this,
Oh, let me put this more behind it. I like this. We decided, are we going to show them or not? We're showing you. Guess what that is? That is, you tell them.
so that is a block that goes in the wide border that's between two narrow borders.
So that's not in the body of the quilt, that's
No.
actually the border.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
So that gives you a feel for what it's like. It doesn't show you how it's put together.
It looks nice.
So then to talk about the requirements a little, I just,
should we show them the picture of the fabric first?
well, the first thing I want to show you is when
Okay.
I went through my stuff, I went through and just pulled odds and ends. And this was like some of them that I pulled. And some of those are like just a very small piece, like not even a fat quarter that was left of them. Some were whatever. So that's what I did, is I just went through and I pulled a bunch. In the end, some of them I didn't even use. Like as I got going, I didn't like them. Like
lot
I
of
can
those
show
lighter
you
ones.
that one right there, I didn't use at all in the end. And some I used a lot more of throughout the quilt, and some I just used the odd time. So I really think that if you've got any kind of a stash, you can go through and pull what you want. I also use scrappy background.
Yeah.
So every block could have something different. Like this is polka dots. The blue and the green are different backgrounds on that.
Or
That's different.
or you could use the same.
Or you could
consistent.
use the same. If you're not a person that likes that mix mash look, you can use whatever you want. So I think if you're going with a light background, because I know there's some of you out there that may think outside of the box and you may go with a dark background. But if you go with
Lynn in there?
I was gonna say, we won't mention any names, Lynn. But and they look really sharp. Like some of Lynn's quilts she's been showing, man, they're sharp, right? With the dark background. So that's always an option too. And if you go with the light background like I did, my first narrow border and my last narrow border are going to be dark to frame and separate from the wider border that's in the middle. If you went with a dark background, then I think probably your next border and your outer border could be like a medium tone or a lighter tone. So those are things you're going to have to play with. But now we're just going to go over requirements, and then we'll show you what we've, because we can't give you a kit exactly like mine, because that's out of my stash. And when I tell you that there's like probably 10 to 15 Lori Holt lines there, some of those are old as the hills. Like they're not even available anymore, right? We can't get them. So we can't do something exactly like that.
But we've picked some really nice colors.
So the center that's got the blocks finishes at 48 by 56. I don't necessarily think that you need like 15 fat quarters because you'll use every bit of it, but I think to get your variation
And your variety.
and your variety and your color tones, your lights, your mediums, your darks, that you should have a minimum of that probably to work with. But the good news is if you are going scrappy, you can always add in if you see that you're running short, right? Like you can always find another, like if you're using navies, you can always find another navy to mix in. And when it gets scattered throughout the quilt, it looks like it was there all along. Like you're not going to run out if you do scrappy, or if you do like a planned color scheme that you can work some in, right? So that I recommend a minimum of 15 fat quarters to get your color variation. For background, that's a small quilt. Like that's like that centerpiece.
Would
So
you say 48 by 56?
48 by 56. I honestly think you could do it with 3 meters, but if you are a person that panics about running out, then definitely have 4. Or stick with a background that is easily reorderable, like
If
a
you're
mode
doing
of grunge or something like that. Or even if you're picking scrappy backgrounds, pick in mind that maybe you could mix in a grunge with it if you needed to, or you could mix in something like that if you needed to, right? Scrappy would be easy to add to, right?
Well, that's what you did too.
Yeah,
and it
I
looks
did,
good.
right? It's fine. But if you're going with one background, if you are worried about running short, because a lot of people are the type that they want, like when a pattern calls for 5 meters,
Come closer.
they buy
She can't
6.
hear you.
They buy 6. I can't believe you can't hear me. I got a loud voice. Okay. Sorry about that. Can you hear me better now, Geraldine? I hope so. Anyway, then in that wide border, just did.
I'm trying to put the volume
Okay.
up. Sorry.
In that wide border, you're going to have an option. Where's my border block? What do I do with it?
I folded it. It's folded. I see it right there.
Okay. In the border block, I still have to decide. I think I can probably pick this to continue on, or I can go with a color.
You want me to go grab that?
Grab
color?
that. It's on the
bed.
It's on the bed. Like I've got one that in my mind that I'm tossed between. Let me find them. No, I know, but I'm
But
just
they-
showing
they
a
might
lot
have
of my fabric we don't have.
Right, true.
So this could be your wide border. And if you did something like that, then you could plan when you did your big block to put maybe this as your center to make it more cohesive or whatever, right? So you're going to have that option. And I'm going to give you the measurements for that. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going with, you can't have that because it's no longer available. I haven't decided whether I'm going with my background. I'll decide that when we get the quilt top sewn together and lay it out and see what one I like better. Or this one. So those are, I'm going to give you the requirements for each border and for the binding.
And you're gonna tell them if you're gonna give them an extra quarter of this so that they can go into the quilt.
Yes, if you decide to go with this option that we've got laid out here and you want this for your border, we would give you an extra quarter meter that you could have to either work in here or throughout your quilt so that it worked in.
Holds it.
Yeah. So, the first border is 2.5 inch strips. You need 6 with the fabric by 2.5, so a 1/2 meter would be plenty. I'm going with a dark. I'm going with a navy. The outer border is also a 2.5 inch. I'm using that same navy. So if you went with the same one, you'd need another 2/3 of a meter for that. If
And-
you go with
And
them.
are you gonna post all this on the page? Or are they gonna refer to this video for?
When we get, I can do something, like maybe the day that we started, I'll have something that we'll post in the file section to get us going. I'll
Yeah.
post those requirements. Or I can do it this week sometime, I'll do it. So if you were going first and third border, the 2.5 wide, the same, combined, you would need about 2 meters would be, no, and if you bind with that, which I'm binding, 2 meters would give you enough for the first border, the
Second.
third border, and binding in a dark color, if you were going all the same, which is what I'm doing. Or we can break it down, 1/2 meter for the first border, 2/3 of a meter for the third border, and 2/3 to 3/4 of a meter for the binding. The middle border, you've got that big block that's going to take some up. You need 6 strips with the fabric by 14.5 inches. So 2 1/3 meter is just enough when you square it up. So if you are a person that is worried that you're going to make a mistake or run short, you need an additional 14.5 inch strip if you make a mistake and cut one wrong, right? So that I would recommend 2.75 meters for that. And if you wanted to have some of that throughout your quilt, like that middle border fabric, like this one, use some of that in with your backgrounds in your blocks. Does that make sense?
How about we show them the fabrics and say what we're gonna give them for a potential kit,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can look from their stash.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it'll make more sense because we know what we're talking about. Because
But I will type it up.
okay,
Yes, Wendy, it will be. I will type it up and I will post it.
and we gotta tell them about the post too. How you're posting now.
Yeah, but that's just the videos. Anything
Oh.
written has to go in the quilt project page, right?
But you can't
In the
add
files,
right?
because
okay.
the PDF goes there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I would recommend, and I'll write it all out.
So if we were to make a potential kit for somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn the camera around to show you the fabrics we have on the floor. And then you guys will have an idea where our head's going to know if you have anything at home that you want to use. Don't look at the bench.
Look at the bolts in front of the bench.
Look at the bolts in front of the bench. See how I start at that blue stripe? We go to the blues. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blues. And then we kind of go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teals. And then we kind of go to 1, 2, 3. We actually have 6 greens.
And a couple of those greens actually have some blue in them, which helps sort of pull
Yes,
the
if you
two
saw those
colors
green
together.
up close, like, yeah, there's 2 of them.
This one has blue in it, and
Yeah.
this one has blue in it.
Yes. So those are the colors. So, I mean, we think that this combo would work with Twyla's. So maybe you have something at home that is similar.
And then this would be a potential wide border if
Right.
you didn't want the background wide
To
border
be light.
like I'm doing.
And then we would put some of that in with the
Yeah.
main part of the coat
Yeah.
too.
So these are for Lori Holt.
Do you want to bring those clothes? Can you stand them on the edge of the counter here? Is that too hard? Just so they
That's
can,
wicked. I don't think I can do that.
without dropping fabric on the floor like you just
I'm
did.
not making that promise. Okay,
So
so
these are the potential light backgrounds that we had in our stash that we thought would look good. So the first one she's got her hand on is green. And the next one is got a teal dot in it. And the next one's got a little bit of a bluish feather in it. And then this one has the green, and the blue in it.
yeah.
So we thought those 4, if you wanted to just do a variety of 4, would make nice backgrounds.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do something that was just one color, this is what we thought would look nice. Both of these are grunge. One is vanilla and one is, forget the other name of it.
And so if you were worried about running out, these are reorderable. We can get them at any given time.
Yes.
I think we could probably get more of these.
Each one of those.
But it might take a while.
Because those are from the autumn collection and,
And
the
the
Christmas,
Christmas one.
believe it or not.
And they're still listed, but they aren't always in stock. And sometimes you have to wait
Yeah.
for them to come in stock. So it could take a while to get them in.
Yeah.
Or you can always just pick something else for
Okay.
like a tone-on-tone
Yeah.
white dot. Whatever, right?
Yeah. I like the grunge too, Gloria. It would make it look less scrappy if you picked a solid background. So if you're not into being scrappy,
That
then that's a
actually
good
almost picks up
The blue.
as a blue, right?
it does. It looks
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
What's that grunge called?
That one is vanilla, and this one was, I can't remember, white paper maybe? Yeah, white paper.
Yeah. So either one of those look good.
Yeah, this one's a bit
A
lighter.
bit lighter, yeah.
This one almost picks up the navy. Like it almost makes it look navy.
So Di Sue wonders if you could put that grunge in with the other 4 backgrounds, and you can. We held them up.
So what do you guys think? It's a bit lighter,
It is a bit lighter.
but scattered in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would work throughout. Okay. Yes, Debbie Doyle, don't forget to pack your clothes for this year's retreat.
So I will type that out, but that gives you an idea of what you need.
Yeah.
I would go with no less than 15 or 16 fat quarters to start.
Yeah.
I would go with no less than 3 meters of background just for the center of the quilt.
Yeah.
And if you're planning on using that as your wide border, like I may possibly be using it, then you would need an extra 2.75. So if you were going to use it in both places and you were going with one background, you would need about 6 meters roughly, probably.
So for those of you, I see there's a few coming on late. We're not going to go over all of it again. We're going to post the video as soon as we go off live here, and it explains all the colors and explains all the sizes that you have an option to make. And is there anything else, Twyla?
We're going to show you something else there in a minute.
On the computer. Don't let us.
But
forget.
just so you guys know how my mind works.
I do have a price for the kit. Okay, so if you wanted those colors that we have posted there, it's $68 for just the colors. If you wanted 0.75 meters of the 4 varieties that we picked out, it's $51.
But that would not give you enough for that wide border, if
right.
you were going
If
with
you're going that long, we
Yeah.
decided that you needed 3 meters of that
extra.
extra. So
like
that would be
2.75.
yeah, so that
extra.
would be another $51.
Mhm.
So potentially that could be $170 for the kit.
Mhm.
And keep in mind that potentially you might want to add something to it from your stash, but this would give you a nice background, a nice starting point, and potential, more than likely be enough for the whole quilt.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I started with really good intentions, guys. See, like this is my notes in progress. They're fairly neat, right? And then look, here's some of my later blocks. These are the directions. I'm just gonna post them like this for you guys. How do you
And
think?
you can figure it out.
And you can figure it out. What do you think? Like, look,
Her brain.
this is all directions. How's that? Cool, right? That's how my brain works best. Isn't that scary? See? Those are my directions.
But she will do a better
I
copy.
will do a better copy.
And we will post it, but probably not. We've gone over the measurements here for you to
I
look for
will
your
post
stash.
the measurements. It may not be tonight. It may be sometime tomorrow. I will post the measurements. They will go in a file in the quilt project page, and it will be labeled. Videos, so this sew along, that's a good point. This sew along is going to be so that you need to watch the videos each week, and they will be saved. And then the directions will be posted as a PDF in the quilt project page. So I am also trying very hard to organize the video section. So you guys got to be patient with me because it takes me a while to go through.
Yes.
And I figured out how to make playlists. I'm so excited. So if you go in and look now at her video section, I've got 2 playlists made. So there's a heading of what's in that playlist. Like one was, what was it?
A Christmas sew along.
Right. It was like the 2020.
Yeah.
No, it was a Peppermint Lane, was it? The Peppermint Lane sew along. So you can click on the Peppermint Lane playlist, and all of the videos for Peppermint Lane are in that block. So,
Yes. So this sew along is going to be called
well, thing 1 and thing 2. Okay, no
Back
problem.
again. Back together again.
Yeah. So it will be labeled, and hopefully I'll be able to
Yes.
get the files organized over the next.
I do want to show them on here how to go. Should
Okay.
we do a thing? Yes, private message, Shelley, if you want a kit. So we're going to show you, do a quick little review for those of you that don't know how to get on our
I
page.
can't even get the mouse to work.
So this is our page.
Like, really? What's going on? There it is. Okay.
So this is our page that you see online.
Right? So,
She's going to go to more.
no.
No?
Yes, okay, there.
Yeah.
So go to more, go to videos, and then, see here now it says playlists. There's 2 playlists. So this one is the Peppermint Lane, and there's 9 videos in it, and like you can scroll over and find them. And here's the beginner series. It has 5 videos in it, and you can go over and scroll. So that's the only 2 I've done. It took me all afternoon to figure out how to do this, guys. And then it's weeding through all of her videos and finding
group them.
titles on them and whatever. So I am going to try to group them so that the video section is a little easier to maneuver.
Yes.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
So,
We're getting there. Growing pains. We didn't know how to do a lot of this when we first started, and we're
I
just
still don't. By the time I go home and try to get back in and do it again, I probably will forget what I did. But, okay, I think that's it, isn't
yeah.
it?
So somebody said if they wanted the kit, all you have to do is send us a private message.
Or call the shop.
Yes. I am away tomorrow. I go to the city for a recheck and to get my stitches out. So it will be Jackie and Stacy here tomorrow, and they probably won't have any information on this sew along. So give us a couple of days before you ask any questions, and by then we'll probably have something posted that will answer all your questions.
Yeah. Like, don't ask them questions. Just
They won't.
if you send a message on Messenger on the business page, if it's about the sew along, if you put my name first, like Twyla, I'd like to know,
She'll open it from
I'll
home.
open it from home. I just don't want to go through and open ones, because once I open them at home, if it's something that has nothing to do with the sew along, then it looks like it's been seen, and I can't answer every question from home. But I could answer your questions.
So here's a good question. Have you named this quilt?
No, that's that's what it's thing 1 and thing 2.
Okay, we're gonna call it thing 1 and thing 2.
No, so it's not like a purchase quilt. Some of these are blocks that are free online. Some are very common blocks, like what's the star block? What's that block? The star with the four, what's that called?
I
With
was,
the
I
four
was reading
flying-
comments, so I wasn't even listening to you. Sorry.
See, this is what.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I was reading.
Okay, so the star block that has, is it sawtooth star that has the four flying geese for the points?
Yes.
Okay, so some of the
Morning Star.
Morning star. I don't
It's the
know.
Morning Star.
Like some of them are just common blocks like that, right? That are like public domain or whatever. So
The Twilight Return. So. That's a good one.
so anyway, it really doesn't have an official name. Thing 1 and thing 2. So along. So that's it.
Marilyn, we can't really tell you about the borders until you get the inside done, and then we'll explain to you how to make the decision on whether you want a light or dark border for those. Because you got to really see the middle laid out to make a decision. So if you want to hold off buying that,
I honestly
Yeah.
feel that if you are going with light background in the center of your quilt for your blocks, that your first border and your third border would look better in a dark accent. And then that wide middle border should be lighter.
that teal is not too dark, do you think?
No, not
No,
at
that
all.
teal
But I
that we
mean
showed.
lighter than what the dark two narrow borders
Right.
are, right?
So that teal that we
So
showed.
I'm going with,
I can't meet you, Linda. Sorry, we're going up and back for my stitches to come out, and I have to be back in Digby by 4 o'clock because I'm doing my final walkthrough for my new shop. So we're up and back like in a splash.
this is my first and third narrow 2.5-inch borders, is this. I haven't decided whether my wide border that is incorporated with that big block that I showed, with this block, I haven't decided if I am going with my background as my wide middle border, or whether I'm going to break it up and go with something like this on either side of my block as my wide middle border.
or something
Or
like
in the kit that Deb showed, you could go with that one
that. Because your navy would come out.
because your navy would be on either side as the narrow borders on either side. I really like this one.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you want to wait and just get the inside, if you're buying a kit and you just want to get the colors and the background, then decide on the borders. You can order that
Mhm.
at a later time. You might have something in your stash or decide to do something totally different.
Oh, Marilyn doesn't have a stash.
No.
Right, Marilyn? So that's what I said. Like, through all of this, when I do scrappy quilts, a lot of decisions that I have in my head, as I progress, it changes. Because as I lay it out, I see things that I thought was going to look great, but it doesn't look great. Or I think I found something that looks better. But I do feel that if you've got light background, your first and third border will look better dark to sort of frame it and set it apart, especially with that nice wide border in the middle.
So it's gonna, once we put this big one, what was the measurement? 80 by what?
You expect me to remember that? I think it was 80. Once, if you go with all three borders, like
Yeah.
I'm talking, it will finish at 84 by 92.
84. But I mean, there's easily, if you want it even bigger, you could put piano keys, or you could put
You could
just
do anything.
you could put like the blocks that you have, the filler blocks, one of the 2-inch squares alternating with the lights.
Yes.
Checkerboard.
Yeah.
So, yes, we all pull a 360
we
every
do,
now and then.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
A quilt that you think you actually hate, you can put a border on and turn it into a quilt that you love.
Or a finished quilt top that you're not loving once it gets,
Gets
quilted.
quilted?
Holy cow, sometimes
I know.
what a difference that
We've
makes.
proven
right?
that, haven't
Yeah,
we?
we have. Yep. Okay,
And
guys.
anyway, that is it for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining. We had a really good turnout, 124 people. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I'll definitely get that posted into the file project page, the requirements. But it's with the caveat that you watch this video because it isn't carved in stone. You may decide that you want to.
So remember, Lynn's sew along this Wednesday is our last Wednesday morning sew along because we are switching to Monday night at 7 o'clock. That's when our sew alongs will be. So there will be a little
And
bit.
there may be weeks that we have to change it too. It all depends on my schedule and
Right.
Deb's schedule. So.
Right. So just we will post it ahead of time, but our plan is Monday.
Right now, my life has to be a little flexible.
I'll show them what we're doing in the evenings now. Our bags. She's been coming up in the evenings. and packaging. Mrs. Santa. So we have a few of these gift bags left. There's 13 gifts in there. We advise not opening this, don't we?
Right.
Because one of them is really special when you open it up. We don't want to ruin
Yeah.
a surprise. And we're
not showing it.
Did I say I was going to show it?
Oh, well, you were pointing as if you wanted me to get it.
I want you to get that.
No. You want to show that?
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so we have a remember we
Did you
told
already show it?
No,
You
I
probably
didn't.
did.
I wouldn't have done that without you here. So we had said that there's an extra gift and they had sold out. We found a couple of extra gifts. So if you want the extra gift over and above your stocking for $60 for Christmas morning to open under your tree, I was going to show it to you, but she says I can't. Anyway.
There's something that's a surprise.
Yes. Anyway, so if you want an extra gift and we had told you no in the past, you can private message us and we do have some extra gifts.
Yeah. It'll be first come, first served till they're gone.
Okay. And they're going to be shipped at the end of November and you'll be invoiced when we ship.
And if anybody didn't tell if they want theirs held for pickup, like the regulars that we know pick up is one thing, but
Yeah.
if there's anybody else that doesn't want it shipped or whatever that's out of the ordinary,
Let us know.
let us know before we get ready to pop it in the mail.
Or if
Okay?
you're shipping with somebody else, any
Yes,
special
if
instructions.
there's 2 or 3 of you shipping
Yeah.
together and maybe
So the only thing you have to do if you want your name down on the stocking is send us $25 an email
no
transfer.
taxes, just
$25.
$25.
If we get an email from somebody, if we get an email from Marilyn Hargraves right tomorrow morning, we would know that she's just booked her stocking. So that's how you book it.
And we still do have a few stockings left too.
What do you think of the new shop? I am so nervous.
It's wonderful.
Oh my gosh.
It is perfect.
Yeah. Anyway.
She's just panicking because it looks like a lot of work.
It is
And it will be a lot of work, but it's going to be nice.
Yeah, and we have no expected date. So my plan is we are going to get all
Here we go.
we're going to get all the shelves set up and we're going to take all the fabric in that we want in our new shop. And then we're going to pull everything that's left from the shop into one room and we're going to do a blowout sale before we leave. So watch for that. We will do it so that it's online and in store. And then once we get back into our shop and have a grand opening, there will be a huge sale as well.
Yes, it was. Yes, Paulette. It
Paulette,
was
she
cute.
won. You missed
Mhm.
it. That was the
Yeah,
cutest
it
post.
was really cute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the way we're going to do it. We just have no idea when that's going to happen because on the 5th of November, I'm flying out to Arizona to see my 93-year-old aunt for 5 days. So it won't happen until after I get back for sure. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to stop
We're
talking.
back with our verbal diarrhea. Isn't it fun?
Did you miss it?
Oh, I did. Okay, guys.
Bye-bye.
So we'll see you next Monday night. Right?
Next
7 o'clock.
7
Be
o'clock.
there with bells on.
Bells on?
Okay.
Who's got the verbal diarrhea now? Bye.